What is going on, Pats Nation? You guys already know who it is. Patriots Global back here with another video. And in this one, we are going to continue talking about the very, very busy day for day one of the legal tampering period. It's not even the first day of free agency. And I'm already pulling all-nighters to get the news out for you guys here. But in this one, we are going to be breaking down a signing that the New England Patriots have made. There haven't really been a whole lot of those. It's been a lot of releases, or there's been trades, or there's been re-signing of their own players. There really hasn't been too many new free agents coming here into New England just yet. Trust me, I think day 2 and day 3 are going to be a lot more busy. But the New England Patriots in this one are going to be signing Cleveland Browns linebacker Sione Takitaki. So let's go ahead and break this one down. So the terms of this deal, again, we don't exactly know what it's going to be completely broken down yet from a year-to-year basis. I would assume that we would probably get that tomorrow. This was a later signing, so the details on those contracts usually take a few hours, so expect that here day 2, actually today by the time that you guys are watching this. But this is going to be a 2-year deal worth $6.5 million. Now, as we all know, incentives have been a big part to the contracts that the Patriots have been giving out so far this offseason. So this deal is going to be worth up to $10 million total through incentives. This move is essentially coming because the Patriots could not get Mack Wilson back, who is essentially their third down linebacker. Now, I'll be very curious to see how the Patriots really view and utilize their linebackers this upcoming season. If it's going to be the same that we've seen over the last several years, or in a new defensive regime under DeMarcus Covington, now with Gerard Mayo, a former linebacker, being our new head coach, if they're going to view that position a little bit higher. But we already know that the starting linebackers are going to be Jawan Bentley and Jahlani Tavai. New England just needs depth along with an outside linebacker who, again, in third down situations, is going to be able to come and play for them. Again, the Mack Wilson role that we saw over the last, I would say, 2 years, but especially this past season in 2023. As we do know, Mack Wilson, excuse me as I hit that microphone, as we all know, Mack Wilson did sign a 3-year, I forget how much it ultimately was, with the Arizona Cardinals today here on day 1. We know that the Patriots were actively trying to get Mack Wilson back. They offered him a very, very similar contract, a 3-year deal. Don't know how much it was worth, but Mack Wilson decided to go to Arizona, where he essentially was going to get a little bit more money. I think that Takitaki here was kind of the Patriots' backup plan. It wasn't the first guy they wanted to go to, but they said, look, if Mack Wilson does end up leaving, we have a plan in place to where we can still replace. Now, Takitaki is a linebacker who originally was coming out of BYU and was a 3rd-round selection by the Cleveland Browns back in 2019. So he has been with them for quite a while here. And I don't really know what it is with the Patriots, but they seem to like these more versatile depth piece linebackers coming from the Cleveland Browns, right? Because they're getting Takitaki here from the Cleveland Browns. They got Mack Wilson in a trade from the Cleveland Browns. So look, if the Patriots can get another Mack Wilson-esque linebacker and kind of have the same situation pan itself out, I think we are in a perfect situation. Now, the great thing about Takitaki while he was at BYU was the versatility that he had as a linebacker. Very, very similar to a Mack Wilson, actually. He was a guy that set the edge a good amount, but was also able to drop back into coverage. He actually played over the slot at times and was able to drop back into coverage a little bit as a linebacker. Now, I don't think that he's as fast as somebody like Mack Wilson was, who was really primed for a sideline-to-sideline speed type of linebacker who was supposed to excel in coverage, but we never really saw. What the Patriots ask their linebackers to do is they want them to be big enough to be able to play against the run and be able to set the edge. I thought that Mack Wilson didn't look bad necessarily in coverage throughout his time in New England, but the big problem was that he wasn't big enough to be able to stop the run. He also wasn't big enough to consistently set the edge. This past offseason, about a year ago now, Mack Wilson put on a lot of muscle. He put on some weight to where he was able to distinguish himself in the run game a little bit more, make some plays, but was able to set the edge significantly better. Takitaki should be able to come in and immediately do that, as he's 6'1", 238 pounds. Now, he is a little bit older, I will say. If he does outlast this contract here in New England, he will be 30 by the time that contract is done. He's currently 28 years old. In the 75 regular season and playoff games that he's played with since being drafted by the Cleveland Browns in 2019, he's put up 279 total combined tackles, 4 sacks, 3 interceptions, and a pair of forced fumbles. He was a guy, too, that originally started his career with the Cleveland Browns as a special teamer. He really didn't play a whole lot over on defense. Again, him coming into New England, pretty much serving that exact same role as Mack Wilson. Mack Wilson, who never registered 30% or more defensive snaps for the Patriots on a year-to-year basis. Over the last 2 seasons, Takitaki did see a pretty significant increase in playing time defensively with the Cleveland Browns. He went from playing in 2019 as a rookie, only 10% of the Browns' defensive snaps, to 43% of their defensive snaps in 2020, 28% of their defensive snaps in 2021, then a massive jump to 65% of their defensive snaps in 2022, and 61% in 2023. In terms of his role on special teams, that did decrease pretty significantly last year, but especially over the last 2 years. His rookie year, he played 61% of their special team snaps, 56% in 2020, 63% in 2021, 56% again in 2022, and then just 30% this past year in 2023. Real quick, guys, before we continue on today's video, I want to take a quick break to let you know about today's sponsor over at Aura. If you guys are looking to support the channel, the best way to do so, of course, is by liking, subscribing, and sharing the video. But another free way you can do so is by supporting the sponsors that support the channel. And right now, we have a really great offer where you guys can get a free 14-day trial with Aura. Link in the description box below and in the comment section below, where you guys can essentially make sure that none of your private information, tell your friends, your family, all your loved ones about this, make sure that none of your private information is being utilized without your knowledge. Your phone number, your address, your social security number, your credit card information, make sure none of that's on the black web being used without your knowledge. Let's hear a little bit more about Aura, though, real quick. Hey guys, sorry to cut the video real quick, but I had a very important question that I had to ask you, and that is, have you ever Googled yourself, or maybe a friend, or maybe a family member Googled themselves and saw their private information being used? Maybe like their name, their phone number, their social security number, their address, maybe their credit card information? God knows I have, and the only reason that I was able to find that and take care of it was because of today's sponsor over at Aura. So what Aura is an identity protection service. And what they do is they go ahead for you so you don't got to do the hard work, and they scour the internet for any of your information being used illegally that you didn't want them to use. The other great part is that they'll monitor your credit. They'll see if your phone number is being used to robocallers, which if you don't know what those guys are, they're essentially the ones that call you about 5 times a day and absolutely annoying the heck out of you. And then sometimes when you do answer, it's just a creepy breathing voice on the other end. I mean, just today alone, I got about 6 of those. Because little do you know, these data brokers are actually trying to sell your information to robocallers, to spammers who are trying to find out your own personal information, such as where you live. So what Aura will do is they'll essentially send you an email or notification saying that, hey, someone's trying to use your phone number. Someone's trying to access this information about you. Do you want us to delete it from the web? In which I would expect you to say, yes, get rid of it. Unfortunately, in today's society, a lot of threats that we all face on a day-to-day basis come online, and unfortunately, the scary part is that we can't always see it. Aura's gonna come in, protect you, protect your family from threats that we can't see and we don't even know are coming. And there's a lot of different websites out there that do identity protection, credit monitoring, all that good stuff, but there's no website that does it all bulked up into one in one place. You're not paying for several different subscriptions on different websites. It's all in one place, and they're able to cut that bill down for you in more than half. Because of Aura, the days of you having to get an antivirus or a password management or a VPN are officially out of the door because they're going to do everything for you in one space. So hey, look, you guys can go right ahead and let people exploit your own private information, or you can go to the link in the description box below and pinned in the comment section below to go ahead and sign up for your 14-day free trial over at Aura. Yes, guys. So make sure you protect yourself, right? Make sure you also protect your loved ones, your friends, your family members. Let them know about this. It's completely free with a 14-day free trial just to give you peace of mind and make sure that none of your information is being utilized. But a little bit more here about Takitaki before we end today's video off. This past season, he played in 15 games, starting in 7 of them, had 1 interception, 3 passes defended, 2 total sacks, 65 total tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 3 quarterback hits. What I expect from him is quite literally, like I said, the exact same role as Mack Wilson. His contract tells me that he's not necessarily going to be a lock to make the roster. He's someone that I do expect to ultimately make it, but can the Patriots do what they did with Mack Wilson? Can he come here to New England, and are they going to be able to put him in a better situation that Cleveland just wasn't able to do? I think that's a very realistic possibility with Takitaki, who, again, as a 3rd-round pick, showed so much more potential than the contribution he's actually been giving there in Cleveland. But what are your guys' thoughts on this move? Make sure you guys let me know in the comment section below. I always want to hear your thoughts, like always. I think the Patriots' linebacker depth definitely does need help. Outside of Bentley and Tavai, there's really no linebackers that the Patriots truly have, in terms of depth that you're comfortable actually starting or playing significant time if need be. Maybe they have somebody like a Marte Mapu end up switching to linebacker instead of safety, but that's kind of to be determined. Make sure you guys let me know your thoughts, though. Leave a big like on this video and subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. As always, though, guys, appreciate you so much for watching. And never forget, go Pats.